I also do some woodworking, and I built come on, look around, there we go. This hanging shelf that I have back here behind some of my consoles and TVs.
Oh,
But so I've got, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, some PS3, PS4, some Sega CD, little Sonic coin bank sitting up there. He looks angry.
he
I haven't put
does.
any quarters in.
Oh, he's hungry.
Sega Genesis. I try to put them in alphabetical order
Mhm.
mostly. Some 32X, some Dreamcast, and some Sega Saturn, and some of the boxes that I have boxes for more of these, but the boxes take up so much space
Right.
that I mostly have the ones that I really care about on display. And then all of these Switch games. I
Mm,
don't like the way the Switch games look just lined up at the spine, so I've got a few pulled out,
right.
and some of them it's like, I don't know, I'm just gonna shove it here for now, like on top. And
Mhm.
some of the collections too for the Switch, which is where some of these like acrylic stands and stuff come from,
Mhm.
and then the Xbox, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and a lot more of the Xbox One games downstairs where our like main entertainment is.
Right.
But then also, um, here's my focus. There we go.
Fire
The Fire Emblem
Emblem.
GBA, because on my GameCube I have the Game Boy player as well,
Nice.
right? So I
Mhm.
can play the Game Boy games and the Wave Bird. That's why it's got the wireless receiver there. But console wise, I have my Nintendo Row, some of the Sega consoles here. Everything is up to like I have switchers for switchers to get things hooked up.
Mhm.
You know, PS2, 3. I have a PS4. I there's kind of a little pile here. I need to figure out a better way to get the Xbox and the PS4 like together.
Mm.
So the Xbox, the 360, the Xbox One, and I have my big CRT. This is a 27-inch, and then I have a flat screen that I use as like a secondary monitor for my computer as well as the HDMI games. And I've
Mhm.
got another like smaller TV here. I've got a couple other ones floating around for various things. Eventually, I'm going to rearrange the room
Mhm.
and try and do like publisher areas. I don't
Right.
know. We'll
That would be
see.
cool.
It's a constant progress, right?
Yeah.
So I have these 3
Sorry.
display cases. You're right, there she is.
Yes,
And,
mama.
back here, I just got the new book, but the rest of them are in the second row back here behind Raid Master. So my first case is all manga,
Oh.
and some are specific publishers and artists and writers and things like
Mhm.
that. The second one is all VHS, where the top half is anime, bottom half is like 80s, 90s action, horror, random crap all on the top. Free Ren, Mega Man. There's a Princess Peach. This is a bunch of Sailor
Sailor
Moon
Moon.
stuff. Sailor Moon is just the best. Sailor Scout, fight me. Some McDonald's toys, whatever. But over here, NES stuff is a little bit of a mess right now because I pulled out all my duplicates to give to my friends. I've got a lot of NES games. I think it's the console I have the most games for, but the Switch is the one I have the most value in.
Always Nintendo.
Right. And then the NES, whoops, my finger's in the way. The NES. So I have a couple 3D printers as well. I've been doing 3D printing stuff for about a decade. And the technology is fantastic now. It used to be
Mhm.
terrible. But so I 3D printed these like stadium seating type things,
Yeah.
and also did some towers.
That's cool.
Hold on. For a sec. There we go. So it's a nice like display. I can always come in. And a friend of mine wanted one that so these say Nintendo, right? And these say Super Nintendo on the back.
Mhm.
I had a friend that wanted one that said Nintendo Power. So I made him one that made me one as well. We've got one here that says Nintendo
Oh,
Power.
that's so cool.
And then N64,
Me too. Man, I played so much of that cartridge.
right?
Yeah, I
And
love
so
that game.
the Quake 2, Doom 64, and Hexen I got from somebody that had these like labels on top, which were
Mhm.
kind of cool. But for the rest of my collection, I have these other labels that I'd bought like a set of these stickers to go on top.
Yeah, that's cool so that you could
Uh,
see them from the top
because
also.
Yeah, because the N64 cartridges, they don't have anything on top, so it's hard
Right.
to display different ways. And I've got a few Japanese games too, um, in the mix here. And there's my Harvest Moon 64. The battery died. So sad. So there's another layer back here too. And of course Xena and Hercules,
Turok
Star Fox,
2.
all that kind of stuff. all 3 Turok games, actually.
Nice. All I saw
Right
was
here.
2. Yeah.
Turok, Turok 2, and Turok 3.
Nice.
Turok 3 is seen some better days on the label, but, it's alright. The game still plays. So, yeah, lots of fun stuff there, and then, some of the DS and 3DS. Also, some of this is, like, later stuff, like a Serial Cafe, Choo Choo Mimic, and Gleamy the Cube. Those are all by a streamer guy, and he released it on like GameCube, not GameCube, sorry, NES, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, like a whole bunch of different things. This guy, John Riggs. But there's some fun little games. But this is actually my wife's original NES shelf when she was a kid.
Oh, wow.
They just technically fit the DS and 3DS cartridges pretty well.
That's cool.
And then I've got behind that is the Wii and GameCube
Mhm.
games. I don't play those. I haven't played the Wii games at all because I haven't had the Wii hooked up. And for the GameCube, I have the one that I have hooked up with the Game Boy Player on it. Doesn't actually have a disk drive,
Mhm.
but it does have a thing called the flippy drive, which emulates the disk drive, and I've got an SD card with the ROMs on it there. But so I mean, they're back there, but I haven't really played them.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a couple of. Oh, I set those there. I was like, what are those doing there? I put them there just now. But then I've also got like a bunch of Game Boy games, Game Boy Color. These are some 3D printed boxes that I made. This is the Guitar Hero controller for the DS.
That's crazy. I remember those.
Yeah, it plugs into the Game Boy Advance cartridge slot on the bottom to give the buttons and some other like Game Boy Advance. And like so I have some friends that are gamers and there's some DS and 3DS loose ones up there as well. And we'll give each other things for our birthdays and stuff. And this one friend of mine from Florida, I recently gave her a modded Game Boy SP and Rock Angels for the Game Boy Advance, along with there's like a Game Boy cover thing for it. For my birthday, she sent me Bratz the movie on Game Boy Advance, Bratz Rock Angels for Game Boy Advance. The one I sent her was CIB though, right? And this other Bratz Diamonds. Now, what's funny about that, for her birthday every year in January, I play some girly games with her.
Yeah.
And all my stuff, all my consoles are connected up so that I can also stream them in Discord. I used
Mhm.
to stream on Twitch, stuff like that. So for her birthday this past year, I played through. There's a Barbie game on the Sega Genesis
Mhm.
and Cheetah Girls on the Game Boy Advance. The year before, we actually played through Brass Rock Angels on the GameCube,
I love that.
and like there's just wacky games, and like even the what did we play? Is it Mary Kate and Ashley's Sweet 16 License to Drive? It's like Mario Party, but it's Mary Kate and
Yep,
Ashley.
I had that game.
Yeah, right. And I figured out through emulation how to be able to play that multiplayer with she's in Florida and we
Mhm.
have another friend in Pennsylvania, and we played it multiplayer, and I'm here in Texas.
Right.
And it was a lot of fun. And it's funny to me that like even on the cartridge itself, there's like a stamp from the publisher that says real games for real girls, because they were trying to advertise
Right.
to the girls.
Right.
Back in the day of Toys R Us, they had to choose where the console's going to go, in the boys aisle or the girls aisle, and they picked the boys aisle. There's nothing inherently gender based in video games. Anybody can play. Well, I was going to say Final Fantasy, but you haven't. Anybody can play and enjoy it.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter. So anyway, weird little tangent I just went on there. But
It's okay.
back here, all of these, well, except for this is Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego with the big encyclopedia, which is pretty cool. But all of these here are homebrew games. Not Total Recall. That's actual Total Recall. No, there's Star Trek. Never mind. Those aren't. Still Legion is a homebrew game. Triptych is a homebrew game. Yeah, yeah, Beavis 2 is a homebrew game. Courier is a homebrew game. So there's a mix of homebrew games and some of the box games here. And Metroid Rogue Dawn. This is the one I was telling you about. Metroid Rogue Dawn for the NES. Super nice case, looks all professional. Let me sit you down for a second, open this up and show you this cartridge because this is wackadoodle.
I'm excited.
So it does come with this like Metroid Rogue Dawn poster. It looks
Ooh.
super professional. This cartridge, it's clear. You can see the battery. I don't know if this will focus. I can send you pictures later. Focus, please. Not on the game. So not okay. Yeah, you probably can't see. I'll have to send you pictures later. But there's like pins that are very clearly cut,
Mhm.
wires that are run between different places. I'll send you some pictures. But
Cool.
like there's like you can kind of see the darker areas right here where my fingers kind of where those are like pins from the little integrated circuit that were cut and peeled up so it's not making a connection anymore.
Right.
And there's extra wires run and stuff to different places to make it work. So the base game is Metroid, but it's been hacked literally, right?
Right. That's so
Oh,
cool.
you can kinda see at that angle, you can see some of the pins are, like, raised.
Yeah. That's neat.
Um, yeah, so it's crazy. Yeah, I'll try and send you some pictures of that a little bit
Okay.
later.
Yeah, sounds good.
But then there was a publisher called, Color Dream and then Wisdom Tree, and I have a bunch of their games, and
Those are all religious
several
games,
of
right?
them a lot of them are, but not
Mhm.
all of them. It's like Exodus and Spiritual Warfare,
Spiritual warfare,
and
my
that
god.
yep, Joshua,
Joshua.
Crystal Mines is not, religious.
Mhm.
There's 2020. This one is crazy. It's very like cyberpunk, Captain Comic. Like they're weird and crazy. And what's I have a little bit of nostalgia for the Exodus game specifically because growing up, um, we'd go to the Christian bookstore
Mhm.
and they had a Nintendo setup and they had some of the Wisdom Tree games there and like to demo. And I would be playing it, but then I was thinking about it and I was like, well, wait a minute. These are not officially licensed, which means that's like illegal. And I'm in a Christian bookstore playing an illegal game. Like I was a weird kid and I was like, is Nintendo gonna show up and catch me here playing this unlicensed game? Like, am I gonna get in trouble for that? Like
That's
it's
cute.
just
Well, no, it's really funny because, like, I actually just watched a video not too long ago about Wisdom Tree specifically and, like, how they were able to get their games onto the, like, Nintendo consoles, like, had to reverse engineer the chips, basically. It's really cool and also
it's crazy.
hilarious, like, that all that for a Jesus game. It's so funny.
Right? And basically it's Gauntlet, except for it's got skeletons and wizards and whatever. But well, and even then, right? Like so that was like locking for the publishers and whatever, right? But then if you think about Japanese games versus US games,
Mhm.
the Famicom versus the Nintendo,
Right.
or the Super Famicom versus the Super Nintendo, the cartridges are different shapes, and that's what does the region locking.
Yep.
And for the N64, the ugliest Zelda cartridge, all the stickers. On the backside, the dimples are different,
Mhm.
and that was the region locking, right? And for my N64, I actually 3D printed a tray that took away the American dimples and just made it wide open so either one will work because it's the exact same, size. Because like I have a box in the other room that's a bunch of Super Famicom and Famicom games. They're not the same size. Even the Famicom to the NES are different number of pins. Right. So they won't work. But the N64, they're exactly the same except for some plastic. Like it's just interesting and a little crazy to me, like the links they went through to try and region lock things and stuff like that. It's just another interesting aspect of it. Like, don't gatekeep me. Just because I can't read Japanese doesn't mean I can't play the Japanese version of Mystical Ninja. It's a fantastic game. And I've got the American version of it. It's fine. But and then kind of as a crossover between all the anime and the video games, I have this one shelf here that's either directly video game related, like the Diddy Kong Racing VHS that you get from Nintendo Power as like an advertisement, or like Star Fox 64, these Sega video game tips. But then, oh, there's my finger, Sega video game tips. But all of these anime are based off of video games. So Secret Wars was a video game. Zillion is really interesting to me. Fantastically fun anime. The gun that they use in that anime called the Zillion gun is the Sega Light Phaser from the Sega Master System.
Oh, that's cool.
Looks exactly like it on purpose, right?
Uh-huh.
And there's a Zillion game for the Sega Master System. You would think it's a shooting game. It's got the gun in the game. It looks like the gun that you have for the console. It's not. It's more like Metroid.
Okay.
And the little guy does have a gun, and it's the right gun, but you never use the actual physical light phaser to play the game that's based off of that. The anime is. I don't even know what came first, the anime or the video game, but
That's fun.
it's this weird like cultural thing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of like my crossover to get into like the heavy anime stuff
Yeah. That's
rather
so
than mixed
cool.
video game stuff. And as a side note, I have another probably 30 or 40 episodes of reading Rainbow in the other room as well.
I love that. I loved reading Rainbow.
Yeah. So, you asked earlier though, what is the thing like how did you word it? Like, I don't know that I have pride in my collection necessarily, but you kind of asked like what's the I don't know, what did you say? It was like the coolest thing or the
Yeah, like
thing
the thing you're
as what
most proud of. Like what's your favorite piece of your collection? Like what you consider your showstopper piece?
well, the interesting thing about that is I got something in the mail yesterday. So previously I would have said, turn the camera back around. Here is my Contra collection with the boxed NES games. Like I said, Contra 4, Contra 3, Contra Hardcore, the Game Boy games, the action figures. I've got like a cup, display stand, like, and then the Fire Emblem collection, all the video games, some of the cards, the anime, some of the art books, this is the slab thing Ryan was talking about, right? Up until yesterday, that's what I would have said. Now, Hello Kitty, we have two cats. And they're interested in everything,
I also have 2
and
cats that are
this is
nosy, so I get it.
so I've got like a bunch of handheld consoles, a few more than I have 3D printed stands for now. There's the Japanese uh, Dreamcast I was talking about over
Yeah.
here. Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors. It's 2 layers thick back up in there. Where I'm only missing like 4 total in the whole collection, and I 3D printed one of the generals just because I thought it was cool.
That is cool.
But so like everything in this case, I would have. That's how I would have answered the question. But yesterday in the mail, I received this is turn sideways phone. There's a game called Steel Battalion, the original Xbox, and this is the Steel Battalion controller.
Oh my god, that is actually really cool.
It's got over 40 buttons. It's the only
Yeah.
way you can play the game. You can play it with a regular controller. It's got the pedals. Like this is the new favorite piece.
That is really cool, admittedly. I've never seen one before, but, like, I knew that you couldn't play Steel Battalion without the whole setup, so that is really cool.
Yeah. So a friend of mine found one that was for sale for parts, and there were some problems with the. I think it was only with the wire,
Mhm.
and she does a lot of console repairs. She's also in the Discord. Um, the Discord server as it looks like phone. The O or the N is in the wrong place, so she goes by Finn.
Mm,
Which way are you facing? Oh, you're facing the TV. I'm over here. Come on. There we are. But she does a lot of like console repairs and stuff.
okay.
And so she actually like fixed the Steel Battalion controller.
Oh,
I don't
cool.
know how much she paid for it. What's going on here? There we go. I was like, I'm only looking at myself. That was terrible.
Yeah,
Um,
the worst.
she fixed the Steel Battalion controller, and like she played the game a little bit, and her daughter had played. She actually sent me a picture of her daughter playing it. She fixed it, but I've been looking for it, and she, had got it for cheap as for parts, and she fixed it, and it works great. And I made her an offer on it because I've always wanted it ever since I found out about it, And I'm gonna got the 2 games. I'm gonna play through them, and I also found out that one of the original developers of it released an open source Windows driver so you can use the controller with some Windows games too. So I'm like, that's freaking great.
That's so cool.
I mean, and I've got another flight stick for the PC and the twin stick for virtual on and like all these like just random other controllers that like it's kind of like I accidentally have a controller collection too, I guess.
How else are you gonna
Yeah,
play all
but
your
so
weird of your games?
right? So I haven't even got to hook it up yet and
Mhm.
play it yet. I actually unboxed it today. So I'm like, "Oh, this is exciting." But I went ahead and laid it out. I know we were gonna have this call. I was like, "I'm gonna lay it out and it'll be something I show you too."
Yeah, that was really cool. I've never
Uh,
seen anything like that before, so that's awesome. Thank you for sharing.